What's going on, everybody? Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another fragrance review. This time we're going to be taking a look at a fragrance from Nasomatto. This is the first one that I've actually reviewed on my channel, and I've been talking about this one quite a bit. It was in my wish list video, so I figured I would go ahead and cover it in a review. This one, of course, is Nasomatto Baraonda. So I'm going to go over how it smells, when you can wear it, how it performs, and things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go and jump into the review. So on the initial spray, what I pick up pretty much instantly is whiskey. There is no getting around the fact that this is a whiskey dominated scent. So I can tell you right now, if you're not a fan of that note, this one's probably not for you, and you're probably gonna wanna skip it because, like I said, it's very prominent right away. It's very strong and sweet right off the bat, almost a little bit piercing as well. It's one of those scents where when you put it up to your nose and you smell it, you can really feel it in your nose. This is strong stuff. I start to pick up on some ambrette, or musk mallow as it's also called, and that gives it a little bit of a sweet and kind of a metallic feel as well. There's also ambroxan, which is adding to that slightly metallic and cooling scent, and I think that's what I'm feeling in my nose when I smell this. I also pick up on some woods that come up as well. The woods give it some background, give it some depth, but the main players here is definitely that whiskey, that ambrette, and just those supporting woods. It's very sweet, smooth, musky. This stuff smells gorgeous. Again, working farther into the dry down, I actually pick up on a little bit of rose. It's not overly strong or anything like that, but it just is there just a little bit. It's a masculine rose. It gives it a touch of freshness, not over the top or anything like that. Again, and it smells great. Overall, I really enjoy the scent of this a lot. This is one that has been on my radar for a very long time, and I'm finally glad that I have a sample of it, and finally glad that I'm reviewing it. This stuff is just so smooth. It's got such a masculine touch to it. So when could you wear this scent? Definitely a fall and winter fragrance for the cooler months. Again, it's very sweet. A little bit musky, and it's a scent again where you're going to want to wear it in the colder weather like we are right now here in winter. This is the perfect time of year to wear it when it's very cold, because again, the cold air kind of helps smooth it out, helps tame it down, because again, it is very strong. It's a little bit piercing, very sweet. It's got a lot of depth. So this isn't really something that I would opt to wear in the warmer months. It's just not going to do good during that time. You can maybe wear it in the spring, a little bit cooler spring days. I could see it working, and maybe summer nights. Actually, I could see this working good for summer evenings, going out and things like that. So you could kind of work it into there, but really more for cooler weather, in my opinion, just overall cooler weather. And again, like I said, summer evenings you could pull it off. Really wouldn't recommend you wearing it like in the summer daytime though, when the heat is, coming down on you. That's probably not going to be the best idea, because that's really going to open the stuff up, and it's going to be even more sweet. Could start to get annoying. And again, going along with that, definitely more of an evening scent. I could see this being a good date night scent. I could see this being good for just going out, just to dinners, going to any sort of events like that, where you're maybe dressed up a little bit. Not really going to see this being worn dressed down and casually. I almost dropped it. Not a casual scent by any means, more dressed up. I could see this going good with like a leather jacket or something like that. There's not leather in this, but again, it does have this masculine, rugged type of smell almost, to where, something like that I could see it working. But for, again, mostly for dressed up in the evenings is when I see this fitting. This may not be the best for a first date, because not everyone may like it, but if you have been seeing this girl for a while and you know that she likes it, this could be a fantastic date night scent for sure. So before we jump into the performance on this bad boy, I'm going to cut in here and say I just released a decanting course. It just came up on my website, chaosfragrances.com. If you go check it out there, you'll see it there. It's a full guide to decanting fragrances. So in that course, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, from what supplies you need, how to decant, how to sell online, how to ship. I basically cover everything from beginning to end, so you'll have all the information you need, and it'll benefit you a lot. That's how I was able to build my collection so quickly, again, with a lot of niche fragrances and things like that, a lot of expensive stuff that I didn't have to pay out of pocket for. I was able to basically use what I had to my advantage, keep splitting it out, and then just keep building my collection up. And that's still what I'm doing now to continue to build it up. I'm giving away everything I know, all of my secrets, all the information that I know and that I use. I'm selling it at a discounted price right now, and even at the regular price, I still think it's cheap for the amount of information you're getting and how quickly you'll be able to make that money back once you actually start putting into effect the stuff that I teach. So I just wanted to plug that real quick. Again, definitely go check it out. It'll support me, it'll support the channel, also support you as well, because it's going to give you all the information you need to build your collection without having to, you know, rack up your credit cards and pay out of pocket and stuff like that. No one wants that. So let's go and jump back into this. Let's talk about performance on this stuff. And as you can expect, this stuff is very strong. On my skin, I'm getting over 12 hours longevity. And again, once it starts to get past that, it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly because depending on what I'm doing, if I go to sleep, it rubs off and things like that. So again, once it gets past that 12-hour mark, it's kind of hard to put an exact number. Just the fact that it is making it 12 hours and more than that is pretty much all you would need to know. Because at that point, you are probably going to be going to bed or taking a shower or something anyway. You don't really need it to last 24 hours. Projection, on the other hand, very good as well. Again, just from the sample that I've been using, one spray is enough for me to catch whiffs throughout what I'm doing. So if you're going with a couple sprays from the retail bottle, you're going to be good to go. That stuff is really going to be pushing out. Like I said, this stuff is very strong. This is an extrait, so very, very high concentration, and it does come in a 30 ml bottle only. And I know that kind of puts a lot of people off, especially when you're used to buying, you know, 100 ml bottles like designers and stuff like that, and you may think you'll go through that quickly. But when it comes to this fragrance, really less is more. Again, like I said, it is an extrait. So if you're going with that retail bottle and you're going with sprays, 1 to 2 is probably all you're going to need for most situations. Maybe 3, 4 max, if even 4. I don't even know. I wouldn't do that, but maybe you would. What I'm saying here is that 30 mils is going to last you a long time. That's going to be plenty for quite a while. That is one of the reasons why I have put off buying Nasomatto fragrances, because I am a splitter myself. But even still, I know that I would be able to sell at least 10 mils of it and keep that 20 mil for myself. And that's realistically probably going to be plenty also, because again, this stuff is very strong. So performance, definitely no slouch there. This stuff is going to cut through the winter air very, very strong. And again, that's why I say more of a fall and winter fragrance. The cold weather is going to tame it down. It's going to, you know, help kind of keep it under control, because if you were to wear this thing in the blazing heat, it's going to be crazy. So really recommended for cooler weather. So let's go and talk about compliments. Is this one going to be a compliment getter? Absolutely. This stuff will kill it with the compliments. Again, it has the performance to where everyone's going to be able to smell you basically. And like I said, less is more. This stuff is very strong. So again, you don't want to go overboard with this. Again, it's a whiskey dominated fragrance for one. It's not, I'm not saying that you're going to smell like an alcoholic, but it is very strong. It's a little bit piercing. Less is more with this one, especially if you're wanting to get positive attention, because if you go overboard, then you might start to annoy people. But again, with that being said, this will garner you some compliments in the fall and the winter. If you're dressed appropriately, it's going to do great. Again, this is one of those fragrances where I think that it could wear you instead of you wearing it if you're not dressed right, if you're not wearing it with confidence. So, you know, rocking with a leather jacket or dressed up in some sort of event and going out in the evening, that's when this thing is going to shine. If you're wearing it casually in t-shirt and shorts in summer, it's not going to do that great for you. So it's all about the situation, and it's all about the person wearing it. If you're able to pull it off though, this thing's going to kill it. So guys, before I wrap this up, let's go ahead and touch on price. The 30 ml extrait bottles go from anywhere from $130 to maybe $140, $150. So talking about price per milliliter, that is very expensive. That's on the pricier side. So for example, if they made a 100 ml bottle and we were going off that price per ml of a 30 ml costing $130 for a 100 ml bottle, if it existed, that would cost you $430. So again, this is pricey stuff. When people talk about Roja Dove being pricey and talk about MFK being pricey, this stuff right here is just as expensive, pretty much, talking about price per mil. It just doesn't seem like that because you're buying it in a smaller quantity. You're buying it in a 30 mil compared to a 100 or a 50, but you get what I'm saying here. This stuff is definitely expensive price per milliliter wise. Again though, this is an extrait. It does perform like a beast, so you aren't going to be using too much of it. That's just something to keep in mind though. People say, oh, that they aren't that expensive. Well, that's because you're buying a small portion of it. But just talking about total out of cost, which you're paying for $130, that's not too bad. And again, that 30 mils is going to last you a long time. So guys, that is it for my review on Baraonda. So glad to have gotten my nose on this recently. Love this stuff. Fantastic stuff. I am still going to probably pick up a bottle before winter is over. We'll see. I still got some time before winter's over. It's very cold here and it's going to stay that way for a while. So I would like to get a bottle before it warms up. So if you guys have tried Baraonda, let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. Be curious to know what you guys had to say. And as always, don't forget to check out my decanting course. It's going to be the first link in the description. Again, I appreciate everyone who decides to, invest in that and support me. Again, it means a lot to me, and it's going to help you out as well because I offer a ton of information in that, tell you everything that you need to know to start decanting, and you're going to build an awesome collection in 2019. So guys, that's going to do it. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.